News Talk 1240.
Ooh, baby, it's the Mr. Judd Show.
Yes, it is, and it's a happy, happy Friday. In fact, it's a happy, long Friday. You got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you're going to take off Monday. Man, what a great time to be alive in Chattanooga. And we're going to go over some of the wonderful things to do in Chattanooga, Tennessee this Labor Day weekend. You are listening to AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. You might be listening to us at hotnewstalkradio.com. I know a lot of people do, especially the people that are working, or maybe it's a great way to listen around the house. You just click that on, run it through your stereo, and you can listen to us at hotnewstalkradio.com anywhere at any time. Or if you're going to be traveling this holiday weekend and you say, I just need that little slice of Chattanooga in my life, then what you can do is you just download the TuneIn app. It's a free app. It's for your smartphone. Just download it. Hit local, scan down. You'll find Hot News Talk Radio, 1240 AM there. And guess what? You can listen to us anytime, anywhere. Maybe you're headed to the beach. Maybe you're headed to see relatives. Maybe you're, just headed down to Rossville, and you want to make sure you're going to hear us. So that's what I do when I'm out of the coverage area. That's exactly what I do. I listen to us on the TuneIn app. Hey, also social media. We're on that too. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us at Twitter. And it's very simple. Both of them are the same, Hot News Talk Radio. So go to our Facebook page, like us, go to Twitter, follow us. If you see something going on in the world that maybe it's a traffic incident, maybe you're seeing, a robbery take place, or maybe it's an important crime, or maybe you just want to give somebody an update on a speed trap or something like that, hit us back on Twitter. And you know what? We'll get it out to all of our Twitterites at the same time. If it's something major, we're going to go on air with it. And so you are kind of our reporter. And as we like to say here, you report, and we'll let not only Chattanooga, but we'll let the whole world decide if that is a worthwhile story and what they think about it. Boy, yesterday we had just about a day on Islam that I think was educational. And we did the heavy lifting here on the Mr. Judd Show. And I know people don't normally associate this show with that. They mainly associate more of the lightheartedness, get you in the good mood, get you smiling on a Friday. We may do some heavy lifting here in just a moment, just to kind of finish that up. And at the same time, challenge you to do something this weekend to broaden your mind. And then I promise you, we'll get back to the cat juggling on the breaks and kind of let you know what's going on here. Hey, also, you want to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, because we have the Men of Hot News Talk Radio calendar coming out at the beginning of the year. And we're going to have a contest that you can actually vote for who's going to be on the cover. And I know everybody's pushing themselves, but we all know who's going to be on the cover, and you're listening to him right now. That's correct. I am going to be on the cover. And I want to give everybody a programming note that Clutch will not be on the air today. I didn't realize it, but after he and I picked on Wednesday, I guess I've shamed him so much, and he's so scared that he had to take a couple of days off. I hope he comes back on Monday and Tuesday. I'm not sure. I mean, I know he's young, and I was probably a little hard on him, but, if he's going to walk in the world of sports, he's got to be a little tougher than that. He will be back on Monday, is my understanding. He had to take a couple of mental days off. He just said that he was rattled such, and I kind of got in his head. And from what I understand, he didn't have his mom call in, but he had his girlfriend call in and says, please, he needs some time off. But Clutch, the Keon Rose Show, the one and only sports dude, will be back on Monday. We will welcome him back. And then Tuesday, I encourage you to call him or go to his Twitter, and that's Sports Cloud on Twitter, and let him know that he's in your thoughts and prayers, because it's going to be a rough weekend for him, especially after I take him to the woodshed and beat him on our picks. We went through our picks yesterday, and I will definitely go through those on Tuesday, especially when I come out on top. And boy, it was a wild and woolly one last night in college football as Michigan goes down to Utah. And I think everybody was kind of expecting Michigan with Jim Harbaugh to win that one, but they did come up short. I do want to remind you that NASCAR this weekend is on Sunday, but it's on Sunday evening. And we are the official, we are the one and only NASCAR station here at Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. So when you can't find it on the TV, Sunday night, you can always find it here at Hot News Talk Radio. 7 p.m. is when they drop the flag and they start the race. So you want to catch every lap of every race here on Hot News Talk Radio. We're also carry NFL. So there are no NFL games this weekend, but the following weekend is big because that's the kickoff to the season. And you want to catch all of those early games. We carry the games that you would like to hear, but you normally don't hear in this area. So make sure you tune in. In fact, I'm going to make sure those games are on our Facebook page. There's another reason to go to Facebook and follow us, because we'll put those games up there and make sure you know. And I'll let you know every week what games you should hear on Hot News Talk Radio, because I know that you want to hear them. NFL is big. College football kicks off this weekend. You heard the kind of a surprising drop there where it says there's still tickets available for the UT game in Knoxville. I mean, in Nashville. They're in Nashville. They're playing at LP Field there at where the Titans play. So, you want to get up there and see your Vols play. I'm going to be watching TV and make sure my Razorbacks do what they should do. It's going to, it's kind of that first weekend. There are some big key matchups with Wisconsin and Alabama playing, and Auburn and Louisville playing. So if you're a college football person like I am, it's always great to have the opening kickoff on Labor Day, so you can indulge yourself all weekend, and you're either happy or sad, depending on what your team has done or will do or how they look. I mean, your team may have still won, but they don't look so good, or maybe they lost and they did look good, better than you thought. So right now, everybody still has that hope for that undefeated championship season, as always. So, hey, it is a long weekend. We are going to go through some things that you can do this weekend, and we're going to go through some other things. But I do want to get to a couple of things where we were talking about yesterday. I ran a piece that said it was 3 things that every non-Muslim needs to know, and I thought that was pretty important. I actually tweeted out after my show, and then I retweeted it and put it on my Facebook page last night, and it should be up on the Hot News Talk Radio Facebook page too. I think I submitted it to have it put on. I'll see if the webmaster has that on there. But we're going to go through right quick. We're going to kind of finish that segment up here in just a second, kind of give you some more food for thought. I think it was a very good thing that, you just need to think about these things and wonder why this is happening, because they are at war. They're at war with everyone that's not Muslim. Stop and think about that. Everyone that is not a Muslim, they're at war with. And according to the Quran, that is, even if you have to lie and deceive to win, then that's what they're going to do. And we're going to go, like I said, we'll go through a couple of things here in just a second. Boy, I tell you what, it's really spicy. This week, this holiday week has been spicy. David Tulis bringing it about Islam and the sheriff yesterday, and then he's on that poor woman in Kentucky. I mean, being jailed for this, and if I'm on the other side of that issue, if I'm pro gay marriage, I would be begging that judge, please do not put her in jail, because now she has become a symbol and a martyr to all Christians and all people, which the majority of people do not believe in same-sex marriage. She has become that person. She has become that martyr. And that they probably don't need that. I mean, they had the mojo going with them, and now all of a sudden, this I think could hurt them in the long run. But is that an offense to be jailed over? Legally, I guess they can say it is. But I mean, sometimes you have to go. Is this really something that needs to be? Does she really need to be jailed over this? I mean, is she going out? Is she a threat to society? I doubt it. And, still, if you look at the whole issue, less than, about 2% of the population is gay or lesbian. And all of this, over 2% of the population. And I'm not saying just because you're a small part of the population that, you should be treated in an ill way. But I mean, this has taken up a lot of time in this country when we have so many other issues that are a lot bigger. But, I think they do this to get people, especially Christians. I think they do this to get the Christians off focus on other things. And I tell you what, Confederate Mike on his show's from 2 to 3. And I hope you listen to him every day. New show this week, rolled out some new shows this week. But Confederate Mike, I think he addressed it well in the way only Confederate Mike could address it. So you definitely want to listen to his show. Of course, you got the Clutch is normally before him, but he was so shamed by his picks to me that he had to take a couple of days off. So I would say, just knowing Confederate Mike, he's probably going to pick up that banner and run with it again today. So you definitely want to send that. Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Judd Show. I am Mr. Judd. You're listening to Hot News Talk Radio. We're the hottest. We're the talkingest. We're the newsiest radio station in town. Without a doubt, we're going to bring you the news that affects you here in Chattanooga, plus all the national headlines. And then we're going to give you analysis. The analysis that affects you in Chattanooga. As the great David Tulis says, it's all Nooga-centric.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Expect lots of sunshine, hot and dry weather out there through the afternoon. Highs 90 to 93. Tonight, lows 68 to 70. Hot again on Saturday, 90 to 92. Just a slight chance of a spotty afternoon shower with a few more isolated, mainly afternoon showers and storms Sunday. Ace, the helpful place. Getting help at the paint studio at Ace is like going to your neighbor. So stop by your neighborhood Ace today to get the top color expertise. For more, their website, thepaintstudio.com. And I'm WDEF News 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Here come the Volunteers. It's football time.
It's football time. It's football time in Tennessee.
Join Coach Butch Jones and Team 119 as we kick off the 2015 season in Nashville against Bowling Green State University, Saturday, September 5th at 3 p.m. in Nissan Stadium. Tickets and stadium parking are still available by visiting NashvilleSports.com/Vols. That's NashvilleSports.com/Vols.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Costa, host of the Costa Report every Sunday at 9 a.m. If there's one person we can turn to explore the role debate moderators and members of the press play in shaping elections, it's legendary news anchor Jim Lehrer. Don't miss my guest Jim Lehrer this Sunday at 9 a.m. on the Costa Report, right here on AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
Here you are, working to keep your customers happy and to manage your cash flow. IRS problems are the last thing you need, but here they are, flapping about you like vultures. Get help from Eric Pelton and his team of accountants at E.J. Pelton Company. Audits, letters, proposed return changes, 1099s, penalty threats. Pelton Tax Resolution Services brings peace of mind and helps you keep more of what you've earned. EJPelton.com. Offices on Brainerd Road and in Saudi Daisy, just north of the Bilo. That's E.J. Pelton. Call 622-3156. Think ahead, 622-3156.
If you have the DTs, the shakes, because your phone is on the fritz, you have nomophobia. You need help. Your telecom doctor is in. Cell Surgeon at Northgate Mall. Cell Surgeon yanks open the ribcage of your phone, pries out the dead heart, and puts in the beating life that you lead on your cell phone. Broken screen, phone not charging, water damage, battery given out? Cell Surgeon at Northgate Mall next to Old Chicago Pizza. Check us out on Facebook. Open Sunday. Cell Surgeon. We bring your phone back to life. Mention Hot News Talk Radio and get 10% off.
This is America Now with Meghan McCain.
Al Gore running is crazy. You're flying around in your private jet all over the world, and you want average Americans to care about the environment. Don't you think you should be doing your part as well?
Meghan McCain, weekdays at 7 p.m.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Ooh, baby, it's the Mr. Judd Show.
Yes, it is, and it's a wonderful, beautiful Friday here in the scenic city of Chattanooga. Why would you want to live anywhere else except Chattanooga, Tennessee? I mean, we have the good life here. Do we not? We have the good life here. All right, let's get back. Right quick. This is from the Citizen Warrior. And as we learned yesterday, there are part of the Quran that says, It's called the abrogation principle. Basically says that when something from a later chapter, known as Surah, conflicts with something from an earlier chapter, the later one is better. And the last chapter is really just says, when Allah has achieved victory and conquered lots of people, and when they become Muslims in great numbers, praise Allah and ask for his forgiveness. But the chapter before that is known as the ultimatum. And here's a few things in that, and I want you to, you need to read this for yourself. And I've tweeted this out, so I will during the break. I'll tweet it out. So if you want to read all of it, a couple of things here: slay the idolaters, wherever you find them, which is really what they're doing. Those who submit and convert to Islam, treat them well. So in other words, if you don't submit, you're not going to be treated well. But here's the big one: do not make treaties with non-Muslims. They are evildoers and should not be trusted. As far as I know, we have a treaty, or we have a treaty in process, or an agreement in process with Iran. Now, are they making a treaty with us? Or are they because we're non-Muslims? Or maybe Barack Hussein Obama, with a Muslim name, maybe he has them fooled, or maybe he has us fooled. I'll let you decide. So did we make a treaty with a Muslim country when they weren't supposed to? Or did our president, who could be or could not be Muslim, with a name like Barack Hussein Obama, did he make a treaty as a Muslim? I don't know. It's just something to think. This is just something to think about on a Friday. We don't want to get too heavy. We're getting a little heavy, but not too heavy. There's all kind of things in here that, I would encourage you to read. Like I said, if you follow me on Twitter, and it's EL Judd on Twitter, EL Judd, I'll tweet this out, and I want you to read them all. It's a pretty good, give you some information, get around the net too, and pop around and find your, other stuff. And one of the things is, as everyone does, I'll give a disclaimer here. It seems as though people look to find things to validate their argument, and they do not want to read or see things that may challenge their argument. Now, that's how most people are. Being a Christian, my beliefs are a little different than other Christians. And when I say my beliefs, it challenges their belief system, and they don't want to hear that. And they give you the old adage, well, if God wanted you to know that, he would let you to put it in the Bible. Come on. Anyway, but so, and what did I do? I took what we played yesterday, and we're probably going to play it next week, just one more time. What I played yesterday, and then I went around and looked. I said, I want to know more about, how the newer passages supersede the older passages. So I was looking for that, and I found it. But at the same time, I think that, to win this battle, and it's not just an argument, this battle, this war that Islam has placed on the rest of the world, we have to, first of all, know Islam. It's going to be, you have to know your enemy. And so what we have to do is we have to take the time to read these things. We have to take the time to know these things, so that when it comes time for battle, when it comes our time for war, we need to be prepared. And I think that's exactly what Jim Hammonds was saying when he spoke before the Pachyderm Club on Monday. He was saying, look, we need to learn this stuff so we can be prepared. They're prepared for war. They know it. They know it. We're not. As a nation, we're not. As Christians, we're not. Even if you're a non-believer, if you're agnostic or whatever you want to call yourself, they're coming for you. You can't say, well, you know what, I really don't believe in anything, so I'm going to set this one out if you don't mind. No, they're still coming for you. So everyone needs to have that knowledge and take the time to learn. And I did, I'll give that disclaimer. I did. I was looking for this. I wanted to find this. But there's so much, thank goodness for the internet. Boy, I'm glad we got that internet, because we can find anything on it. And, you can. And you're going to find the pro and the against the stuff. But don't be afraid of stuff that may challenge your thinking. It's the way you expand your mind. And I think, I think this radio station does that. I know a lot of our listeners are in agreement with us, and that's great. But we also challenge you on some things and maybe open your mind to some thinking. I know the doctor of the PhD of this radio station, the one and only, David Tulis and the David Tulis Show, the David, DT himself, is a very learned man, and he does a great job of bringing information to you and maybe challenging the way you think. I love the way he is Nooga-centric, the way he is all about local economy. I think that's great. On the other end of the spectrum, you got Confederate Mike. Confederate Mike's kind of in your face. Good thing I'm glad he eats mints and chews gum, because if not, oh, Lord, I wouldn't want him in my face. But he is in your face, and he's kind of saying, look at this, think about this, and then you got Cowboy Up with Tex, and Tex is the same way. Now, he's doing it in that Texas persona. And then you got me, and you wonder, and what is Mr. Judd doing? Well, I'm going to let you figure that out, because if you figure it out, I would please text me or call me or something and let me know. That way I'll know what I'm doing. You're listening to the Mr. Judd Show. This is Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. AM 1240. We have a listenership that is increasing every minute of every day, especially during the 11 to 12 hour. That's right. It's on the rise. You can hear us at hotnewstalkradio.com. You can follow us on Twitter at Hot News Talk Radio, or on Facebook the same way. Or you can grab the TuneIn app, and the TuneIn app is a free app for your phone where you can listen to radio stations. We're on that. Once again, Hot News Talk Radio. You'll find us, and you can listen to us anywhere. So maybe at lunch you want to go work out, or maybe you want to go somewhere in the park and read and kind of catch up to what's going on with the digital drive, which I'll get with the adolescent. Man, I tell you what, he was on fire yesterday. Did you hear his show? On bringing it. I mean, he may be a young adult before we know it, the way he was bringing it. But I mean, and that's what we do here at Hot News Talk Radio. We have a variety of shows, local shows. We're owned by local men. 2 men own this radio station. That's why we can do what we do. All right, we're getting ready for a 3-day weekend here in Chattanooga. We're going to talk about some things. Who knows? We might even get everybody in the spirit with a little song or two. I've written some songs, and I'd like to debut them. So you never know what we're going to do here on the Mr. Judd Show.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Expect lots of sunshine, hot and dry weather out there through the afternoon. Highs 90 to 93. Tonight, lows 68 to 70. Hot again on Saturday, 90 to 92. Just a slight chance of a spotty afternoon shower with a few more isolated, mainly afternoon showers and storms Sunday. Ace, the helpful place. Getting help at the paint studio at Ace is like going to your neighbor. So stop by your neighborhood Ace today to get the top color expertise. For more, their website, thepaintstudio.com. And I'm WDEF News Falls Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Kevin Ray, Danny White, and myself for all the action.
Hot News Talk 1240.
If it's the NFL, it's right here.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Here comes the volunteer.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. Stocks on Wall Street down as a key factor on whether interest rates will go up comes out.
Economists were calling for a strong report today from the Labor Department, but this one came in below expectations. 173,000 jobs added to payrolls. The unemployment rate did fall back to 5.1%.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. The Marine said the person killed during a helicopter training exercise at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina yesterday was Staff Sergeant Jonathan Lewis with an anti-terrorism fleet security team based in the Norfolk, Virginia area. And the UK reversing its stance on the refugee crisis in Europe.
British Prime Minister David Cameron saying Britain will accept thousands more people fleeing Syria's war.
Britain has a moral responsibility.
It feels like there may have been a shift in public feeling here in the UK after pictures of a Syrian toddler lying dead on a beach were spread on social media.
Fox Radio, Simon Owen, Fox News. We report, you decide.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Here come the volunteers. It's football time.
It's football time. It's football time in Tennessee.
Join Coach Butch Jones and Team 119 as we kick off the 2015 season in Nashville against Bowling Green State University, Saturday, September 5th at 3 p.m. in Nissan Stadium. Tickets and stadium parking are still available by visiting NashvilleSports.com/Vols. That's NashvilleSports.com/Vols.
When my brother and I opened the first Jets Pizza, we believed if we made the best pizza, customers would find us. So we made fresh dough each day, used fresh toppings, and premium mozzarella cheese. 300-plus stores later, we still do.
Try Jet's famous 8-corner pizza with premium mozzarella cheese and one topping, now just $11.99 for a limited time only. Jet's Pizza, the best pizza in town. 3600 Hickson Pike.
Life is short. Eat better pizza.
Let's get Jets. Are you tired of working in corporate America, or have you recently lost your job and would like to consider owning your own business? If you are, please call me, as I can help you look at franchises or business opportunities that fit you, the economy that we're in, and the type of businesses that are right in the greater Chattanooga area. After I help my clients find the right opportunity, I also help them find the best way to finance the business, including paying yourself through the startup phase. If you would like to learn more about opportunities that may be right for you, please call me for a free assessment. My name is Bruce Krebs at the Entrepreneur Source. Phone number is 423-875-5621.
Social media, we're on that. Hot News Talk Radio on Facebook, at Hot News Talk Radio on Twitter. Download the TuneIn app and follow us anywhere at any time. AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Ooh, baby, it's the Mr. Judd Show.
You know that guy that was talking about social media a while ago? Man, does he not have a sexy voice? Wow. Wished I could be him. You're listening to the Mr. Judd Show here on Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. All right, you need something to do for this weekend? Are you looking for something to do? Because there's tons of stuff to do. And as always, living here in the scenic city, there are just tons and tons of stuff to do. But this afternoon, let's say you get off work early. What do you want to do? You know what I would like for you to do? And I think you would enjoy it. If you go by Bacchus Wines and Spirits, it's at 5721 153, Highway 153. It's right across from Walmart on 153. Every Friday, or just about every Friday, they have a wine tasting. You go in there, say, hey, they're going to give you a little sample of wine. Now, you can't beat that. I mean, you can't beat that at all. So just go in there, and it's Bacchus Wines. It's right there at 5721 Highway 153, right across from Walmart. You can't miss it. Just go in there and kind of look around and say, I hear y'all do some wine tasting. And if they ask where you heard it, you can say, that crazy good-looking guy from Hot News Talk Radio, Mr. Judd, said, hey, come on in. And I bet they would be happy to see you. That'd be a great way to kick off your weekend. Just in and it's not like you're going to be in there and get sloshed and, you can't drive, you're impaired and all that. No, it's just a wine tasting. Of course, if you're like me and you go in there 18 or 19 times back to back, they will question you on that, by the way. You may want to have you a designated driver, as you should always. We would not want to promote anything but that. Okay, it's a big weekend. You have the last homestand of the Chattanooga Lookouts. They will be here tonight all the way through Monday night. So you can, I think Sunday is an afternoon game. So you're going to have Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, and Monday night. And that is their last homestand before they go into the playoffs. And I believe the playoffs here are the 10th and 11th this year. And they made it because they won the first half of the regular season. So get out and support your Lookouts this weekend. And then we want everybody to support them, of course, while they're in the playoffs, and bring home the championship. Bring it home to Chattanooga. What a great baseball town this is. What a great Lookouts. They are one of the historic clubs, baseball clubs in the United States. I mean, they have a rich tradition, and they have a great fan base, and of course they got probably one of the coolest logos of all. So get out and support your Chattanooga Lookouts. And at the same time, it's very, very reasonable. Especially if you have a family of 4, I mean, the tickets are reasonable, the hot dogs, the Cokes, some of the coldest beer in town. Not that I would, let a 8 or 9 year old partake of the beer, but I think I'm old enough to have a beer, but they do have nice cold beer, and they'll bring it right to your seat. They'll even bring the hot dogs and popcorn to your seat. You can't beat it. So get out and support your Chattanooga Lookouts. The other big event is that the Chattanooga Mocs kick off their season. Your number 7 Chattanooga Mocs kick off their season tomorrow night at Finley Stadium at 6 p.m. Get down and support the Mocs. They're playing Jacksonville, and this is going to be a big game because I think Jacksonville's number 8. So you got number 7, number 8. The only top 10 matchup anywhere in the country this weekend. 2 conference champions, so you definitely want to see that. Jacksonville's going to bring a lot of people, and it's Jacksonville, Alabama, and so it's kind of a nice little rivalry for our Mocs. And make sure you show up for that, and make sure, let's fill that stadium up. If they can fill it up for soccer, we can fill it up for football. Now I know UT's playing before that, and also understand that Alabama's playing after that, but that's okay. It's okay. You can still be a fan of the Mocs. It's not like, you get to pick only one team to support. This is your local team. You can listen to the other games. You can even, maybe step out, watch them on your smartphone while you're there at, now you can watch your team anywhere you want to, if you have a smartphone. And most people do. So instead of sitting at home and not supporting the Chattanooga Mocs, take your smartphone with you. You can keep up with whatever game you're following, but go down and support the Mocs because they're going to have a great season. This could be a championship run for them. I mean, they got a lot of the pieces for that. So we're going to be talking, Monday and Tuesday. It was a great win, and I mean, it was a sellout crowd. So get there early. It's, go down tailgate. And then, we've got all kinds of things happening this weekend. It is actually the last weekend of Riverfront Nights, which is a free concert on Saturday night. So after you go to the Mocs game, you can go down and listen to some music on the river. Tonight is the last of Nightfall. That concert series is over. So we got those guys ending tonight. So you want to get down there and hear them. So there's all kinds of things. Chattanooga is not a place, there's really nothing to do, because there's all kinds of stuff to do. The other thing is that Harry Connick Jr. has been added to the Chattanooga United event, which is in October. We'll have more information on that. And of course, this is for the families of the 5 that were slain by, and I'm not going to say a Muslim extremist, by a Muslim that tried to terrorize the city, and we didn't allow it. They failed. Think about it. They failed. The Islamic faith failed on that day. He wasn't extremist. He was just doing what he was told to do. He was just doing what he was told to do. So, we've got that big event coming up, got tons of stuff to do in Chattanooga. Chattanooga is just a wonderful, great place to live because you always have a lot to do here.
Have you ever realized that you can't spell funeral without the word fun? That's why here at Carnival Funeral Home, we've put the fun back into funeral. Who wants to go to a funeral where everyone is sad, depressed, and crying? Not at Carnival Funeral Home. It's just like the Midway at the Carnival. We have rides, we have events, we even have a sideshow. That's right. For your funeral, use Carnival Funeral Home. Remember, every Tuesday is 2 for 1, and Thursdays is Ladies' Day. That's Carnival Funeral Home, where we put the fun back into funeral.
We do ask that you patronize our advertisers because they are spending their hard money to get the word out. And I tell you what, if you advertise on this radio station, you are getting the word out to a growing audience. And this audience grows more and more every day. And we've got great programming. So if you need more information on that, give me a call, 423-521-0284, 423-521-0284. What are you going to do this weekend? Start thinking about it. And don't just sit at home. Do not sit at home at all. I know we've got 2 big birthday events that we have to go to. The Mr. and Miss Eagle Bluff, the first family of the first couple of Eagle Bluff, both have a birthday coming up this weekend. And so that's going to be a big celebration. There'll be huge fireworks. There's a huge parade. They blow it I mean, it'd be a huge event. I'm sure to make probably Fox and CNN news, because this is a big birthday for both of them. And I want to, they know who they are, and I'm shouting out a happy birthday on the air. They're avid listeners, love listening to Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. And they said they love the programming here. I mean, they said they can't get enough of it. They listen to David Tulis in the morning, and they said, man, that guy's pretty smart. And I said, well, it's all a rouge. It's all a rouge. No, he is. He's very smart. Had a great time with David yesterday. He and I went out and saw some of our great listeners and some of our advertisers that you're going to be hearing here on Hot News Talk Radio. And as always, he draws a big crowd, and it's almost like going somewhere with the Pope, where they're kneeling and kissing the ring of the great DT. So it's always fun to be out. And I tell you what, I had the fortunate to be with Confederate Mike, who his show is from 2 to 3, and it's the total opposite. I mean, it's the total opposite of being out with David Tulis, where you get this almost this regal respect with David Tulis. And then Confederate Mike, it's, you get a lot of the guys that are, they're chewing tobacco, and that's okay, drinking a beer, and it's, noon, and that's fine. I mean, I do that starting at 11 a.m. because I have this show to do. But I mean, so it's totally opposite. So we got our bookends there. We got the David Tulis show from 9 to 11, and then we got Confederate Mike from 2 to 3. Do not forget the digital drive, which follows me. It's with the adolescent. And man, as hard as he brought it yesterday, you know what he did not do? And you can only see this if you're watching us on YouTube, and it's very simple, youtube.com, and then type in Hot News Talk Radio. He did not do any high kicks yesterday. In fact, I didn't juggle cats yesterday. It was a very serious day here at Hot News Talk Radio. Now, if you're watching YouTube, as you've seen, both breaks, I'm juggling the cats, and they're happy. You ought to hear them purring. I mean, I had to get them out of the studio a while ago because they were purring so loud. I was afraid it would interrupt my thought and interrupt the show. But they love to be, they love to be juggled. And then, but you're going to see some high kicks today. His shoes are off. He wears a cape. And so when he's doing these high kicks, you see the cape flowing in the wind. You would think we had a wind machine in here, but that's not it. Now, you want to end your day here on Hot News Talk Radio with Tex. That's right. You're going to get your Cowboy on. You're going to get it up. You know what? He's not happy. He's saddle sore and not happy, and he said he's bringing it like an old Texas brawl today. So you definitely have to hear Cowboy Up with Tex, and that starts at 6 this evening.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Expect lots of sunshine, hot and dry weather out there through the afternoon. Highs 90 to 93. Tonight, lows 68 to 70. Hot again on Saturday, 90 to 92. Just a slight chance of a spotty afternoon shower with a few more isolated, mainly afternoon showers and storms Sunday. Ace, the helpful place. Getting help at the paint studio at Ace is like going to your neighbor. So stop by your neighborhood Ace today to get the top color expertise. For more, their website, thepaintstudio.com. And I'm WDEF News 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Orr.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. This is America Now with Megan McCain.
Al Gore running is crazy. You're flying around in your private jet all over the world, and you want average Americans to care about the environment. Don't you think you should be doing your part as well?
Megan McCain, weekdays at 7 p.m.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Here come the Volunteers. It's football time.
It's football time. It's football time in Tennessee.
Join Coach Butch Jones and Team 119 as we kick off the 2015 season in Nashville against Bowling Green State University, Saturday, September 5th at 3 p.m. in Nissan Stadium. Tickets and stadium parking are still available by visiting NashvilleSports.com/Vols. That's NashvilleSports.com/Vols.
Sky Aerial Services uses advanced drone technology to give you a better perspective and depth of your property and project. We offer aerial photography and video for your business, farm, home, or advertising campaigns, as well as editing services to complete the experience. Call us at 423-521-0284 and see how we can help you tell your story about your business, property, or project. We work with real estate professionals, both commercial and residential, developers, engineer inspectors, surveyors, ad agencies, auto and boat dealers, mapping services, insurance inspectors, corporate marketing, charity events, weddings, and photographers. Our consultation is free. Call 423-521-0284. That's 423-521-0284, or visit our website, skyaerialservices.com. Sky Aerial Services. The sky is our limit.
We've got a table here at Delia's in Saudi Daisy, ready to delight in a plate of authentic Mexican food. Delia's spreads a rich selection: loaded nachos, crazy chicken, homemade tamales, maybe the enchiladas with beef, chicken, pork, quesadillas. Every dish beautifully pictured on the menu to help us decide. Join us for lunch or dinner. We're at Delia's in Saudi Daisy on Dayton Pike near the Thrasher Light. Here's dinner. Delia's uses the freshest ingredients, cooked to perfection. Nachos, homemade. Delia's open every day except the Lord's Day. For lunch and dinner, treat yourself to Delia's genuine Mexican food. In Saudi, call 521-7145. That's 521-7145.
Hi, I'm David Tulis, inviting you to make the move with me 9 to 11 a.m. weekdays here at AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. The David Tulis Show, featuring Nooganomics.com for Chattanooga and beyond. 9 to 11 a.m. weekdays.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Ooh, baby, it's the Mr. Judd Show.
Yes, it is. You know, I really should go take a cold shower after she says that every time. Nice voice. I need to thank her. I need to really thank her for doing that. Man, that was nice of her. You're listening to the Mr. Judd Show. This is AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. That's right, AM. AM? Yes. Did you realize that the most popular talk shows are on AM? Bet you didn't know that, did you? But I bet you listened to them. I mean, Sean Hannity, AM. Number 2 talker in the land, Sean Hannity. And we have him 3 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday. You can even catch a few rebroadcasts on the weekends, which we have a great weekend lineup. You know, we have Set the Hook with Pat Rose. We have NASCAR. And now let me give you the power of suggestion and advertising. This week's NASCAR race is the Bojangles Southern 500. And I mentioned that to the great David Tulis. I go out at break, and where is he eating? He is eating at Bojangles. Now, tell me advertising doesn't work. You can catch the Bojangles Southern 500 here on Hot News Talk Radio. That's going to be Sunday evening at 7 p.m. So you'll catch every lap of every race right here on Hot News Talk Radio. We have the NFL. There is no NFL this weekend. But keep in mind that there's all kind of college games. As you heard, UT's playing Bowling Green in Nashville. Alabama plays Wisconsin. That's going to be in Dallas. Then in Atlanta, I tell you what, I'd stay away from Atlanta this weekend unless you just have to go. It's going to be busy. I'm sure the traffic is going to be terrible. But in Atlanta, you have Auburn versus Louisville. So you got all kind of great stuff going on there. We had NFL last night. And I'll tell you what, I watched the Titans. I watched them for a series. They look good. I actually watched the Eagles, watched the Philadelphia Eagles play, and Tebow played, and he was kind of playing for his job. But last night we had the Texans and the Cowboys. Man, it was a great matchup. Texans and Cowboys, that's kind of a little rivalry that they usually play in the preseason. So that was anxious to see. And, you know, last night was a pretty important night because the teams that were playing last night, they were making their final cuts to get ready for the season. And it kicks off here on Sunday, September the 13th, where we're either going to have either the Dolphins and Redskins or maybe the Cincinnati Bengals and the Raiders. And then that evening, this is a big one, we're going to have the Giants and the Cowboys. So all you poor, pathetic Cowboy fans, if you're out and about and you want to hear your Cowboys, you can hear them here on Hot News Talk Radio. Or if you have our app, which you should have it, it's the TuneIn app. grab it, and you can catch all these games. You can catch all your NASCAR, and you can keep up with what's going during the week, and you can hear all of the local programming and all of the wonderful things we talk about here at Hot News Talk Radio in beautiful and scenic city Chattanooga. And what a week it's been. If you've missed this week, here's what I want you to do, because you're probably saying, man, I've missed a lot. You can go to YouTube and type in Hot News Talk Radio, and all of our shows are archived there. More importantly, you get to see our beautiful faces, and you're going to want to do that because we've got this huge thing coming up on Facebook and Twitter, which is both the same. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, both at Hot News Talk Radio. You're going to have the Men of Hot News Talk Radio calendar, and you're going to be able to vote for the cover. I know I've got it locked up. I just know. I know my fan base will turn out and vote. Even though Clutch, the Keon Rose show, Clutch says, oh, he thinks he can get it, but I don't. Nope. I don't think he can at all. But that's okay. We'll see. Hey, it's a big weekend here. Tons of stuff to do if you're a big sports person like I am. You got local baseball going on. You got local football going on. And then we've got, if you like music, we got tons of free music. So just a lot of stuff going on. And at the same time, you want to be connected. So what do? You just stay connected to Hot News Talk Radio, because just because it's a weekend doesn't mean you cannot listen to talk radio. A lot of people will listen all week long, and then come the weekend, they want to turn it off. But then next week, now I will be off Monday. I think David Tulis will still be here Monday. I know the Digital Drive is off Monday. And by the way, he follows me from 12 to 1, the adolescent, which I think he's slowly becoming a young adult, but he's going to be talking about, and this is interesting. There was obviously something happened at the U.S. Open, which is where a drone crashed and they've arrested a person. So I'm anxious to find out some more news on that. Breaking news from the Digital Drive. If you're a tech person, or you're interested in tech, or you want to learn a bit about how technology can be used for you or can be used against you, listen to the Digital Drive. He does a great job. And as always, I'll be back on Tuesday. And of course, poor Keon's had it on Tuesday. I'm going to wear him out on our football picks. But it's a big football weekend, especially if you're a college football person like me. It finally kicks off after 8 months. It's kicking off, and here at Hot News Talk Radio, we do bring you sports. Not only do we bring you analysis and the news. We have Fox and CBS News. A lot of people don't know that. Those are the two big ones. It's CBS at the top of the hour and Fox at the bottom of the hour. So there's no reason not to listen to this radio station at all. If I have to, I will come and knock on your door and ask you why you are not listening to this radio station. Do you hear me? Don't make me do that. All right, look, it is I know everybody's, they're like, man, it's almost lunchtime. I got to go down to Jet's Pizza and get me something to eat, or, but you probably still have a couple of more hours for you people that have already started your long weekend. Bless you, bless you, bless you. But planning on spending some time on the lake this weekend. Probably play some golf, may do some rappelling, definitely going to be zip lining, and then we're going to, be riding down the Ocoee. We got that huge birthday up on Eagle Bluff we'll be attending, be more of a celebration than just a birthday. So, sleep is at a premium for me this weekend. Plus, I've got my big engagements coming up all the week after that. I won't be here because I've got engagements for the Mr. Judd Show, the big 2-hour festival that they're calling it now. We may have to expand that to 3 hours, where we're going on the road, and we're going to be bringing the Mr. Judd Show to the masses, and we appreciate all those sellouts that are there. So it's a lot for me to do, but after me, you got the Digital Drive, and then Keon had to take some time off, but make sure you hear Confederate Mike today. He's on from 2 to 3. Like I said, man, he is in your face, and I give him a pack of mints, so it shouldn't offend you that bad. But he'll be in your face, and I'm sure he's going to be talking about what's going on in that poor little town of Kentucky. How would you like to be those people? They're just, hey, we're just a normal little, border town of Kentucky. How are you? And then, boom, you're in the national spotlight. Have a great long weekend, Chattanooga. You're listening to AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. This is the Mr. Judd Show.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga.